I teach here a course called Doing Business in China. My interest in China is academic, but it's also very personal. My wife comes from Taiwan, and the more time I spent in Taiwan, the more I realized that many Taiwanese businesses were moving into China to operate. So we start giving people the foundation for understanding China and Chinese business. It's really important to give people a sense of Chinese history, Chinese culture, Chinese political system, and also what are the economic reforms that have happened in China that have moved it from a more completely socialist economy into what it has today. Then we move into more business strategy. How do you enter China? Should you enter China? How would you structure a business? Whether you want to work with another company in China and create a joint venture, or if you really want to operate independently as a wholly foreign-owned enterprise, what they call WOFIs when you're doing business in China. There's a lot of choices like that you have to think about. And you need to understand distribution. You need to understand the way Chinese customers think. Each year I lead a trip of about 20 students to go to Shanghai during spring break. And during that time, they're doing research projects for US companies. We've had Home Depot, we've had work with GE, we've worked with Organon Pharmaceutical. Our students help them to either think about entering China or improving their business. They're solving a real business problem, and in the process, they're really seeing in depth how business operates in China. They come away, I think, with an awareness of how much more complex it is. There's great opportunities, but they also realize how much you really have to know the local culture and the local economy. It is culturally very different. So if you're going to say, let's understand doing business in Great Britain, it's not a big cultural stretch. China, by contrast, is a very different system, very different set of assumptions. So it actually takes some study to be able to prepare for doing business in China. And then also it's a place where there's a demand. There's so much business going on between the US and China. There's almost nobody going into the business world now who isn't going to come across dealing with China in their career. This is not something you can avoid dealing with in today's business world.